Hello all and welcome to Mechanical Talks IIT Bombay Diaries. I am Prem Kumar, your host for this session. Today we have Mr. Keyur with us, who has been placed in Armstrong as a principal engineer. He completed his B.Tech from Vellore Institute of Technology, Chennai. He was an RA in drawing lab and is doing his MPP on human-robot collaboration under Professor Abhishek Gupta. He's quite an enthusiastic guy. He was a sports techie. He was part of teams who won gold medals for mechanical department in Coco as well as in PG called group dance. So you guys can also connect with him in case you have doubts in that areas as well. In case Keyur don't have any objection for it.
Yeah, fine.
Welcome Keyur for the mechanical talks.
Yeah, thanks, Prem. Yeah.
Keyur, firstly, could you brief about the role you are selected for?
So it's a product development role. Basically, Armstrong machine builders are leaders in intralogistic automations and warehouse automations for FMCGs. I would say other warehouse where the companies need a warehouse such as parcel and courier services, e-tailing, e-commerce. So basically, our role here would be to implement and develop innovative solutions and the solutions for the companies which will they need as a customized solution. So in the sense we are a product development team with the innovative ideas. Yeah.
What was like the selection criteria from job filling to your final selection? What were the number of steps during your selection process?
So basically, there were three steps. First of all, they made a resume shortlist. After that, we had a test on Teams, and then after we were interviewed from their higher officials.
Resume shortlisting was based on like.
I guess they were looking for someone who are like into the automations, moreover like robotics. Yeah. So because their work is on warehouse automations and interlogistic automations, so basically they will be looking like some profile on that robotics type. Yeah.
Was there any like CGPA cutoff?
I guess
Did
it
you
was
observe
not.
that?
No, I didn't observe something like that, and it was not something like that. There was any CGPA issues. It was quite good that everyone was selected who were below 8 and 8.5 also. It was like that. So no CGPA
Okay.
was there.
So it was a proper resume shortlisting, not like some other companies. Like many companies, in the name of resume shortlisting, they only put some CGPA cutoff, but these people actually went through your resume, it seems.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, like coming to your resume part, which resume did you use? And in general, like there are 5 resumes, and as far as I know you, you only prepared for core. Like, then how did you prepare your 5 resumes? How many resumes actually you prepared, and how you prepared those for different profiles? Can you elaborate on that?
So basically, I had only my core resume in the sense that I had two types of resumes. One was basically fully core resume, which contained stress analysis for design. I would say stress analysis and design optimizations, KDOM, the subjects. Okay, and FEM also. And another resume was like which included partially more of automation and robotics system and controls types of projects. So
Okay.
I divided my projects, my resume in these two sections. I did not prepare anything for non-core such as like ML, AI or something, data mining or something like that, because I did not have any better knowledge on that thing. So I did a course in the data mining. I have basics of data mining, but I'm not expert. I would say half knowledge is not good for any interview. So I was not very well prepared for that. But yeah, so these were the two resumes, and these two
Okay.
resumes were fully known to me. So it helped me a lot.
Okay. Like you prepared for both these profiles, like one purely core and other for control systems, we can say. You prepared these 2 resumes, and also both of these had their one-page counterpart as well.
Yeah.
Coming to test part,
Mhm.
what was the test about? for Armstrong? Like you said, some team activity.
No, no,
What was it?
it was not a team activity. It was on MS Teams. So test was
Yeah, yeah.
conducted on MS
Hmm.
Teams.
Okay.
So test was like about 45 minutes, and it contains questions like design thinking. You must know if you have done any course on design for manufacturing. It's a course on campus. So you may encounter design thinking as a part of it. So the questions were from design thinking, machine design, mechatronics questions were also there, and some general knowledge questions such as which robot was developed by which company. It's some general knowledge basic about the robotics was also asked in the tests. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like these were descriptive questions.
No, these were all
Um,
MCQs. Yeah.
Even for design for manufacturing concepts, those were MCQs.
Yeah, yeah. They were directly, what does this mean? Yeah, this was like
Okay. This was a 45 minutes test, you said.
45 minutes test and 50 questions were there. Yeah. About it.
Platform? What was the platform on which they
MS
did?
Teams. MS Teams.
Okay, test was also on MS Teams.
Yeah, yeah.
And the task which you said, which is on Teams,
There
that
was
was
not,
this only.
it was, oh, yeah, it is tests.
Okay. Which all interviews did you give apart from Armstrong before, and what were the number of steps in each of those? Can you brief about that?
So basically, before Armstrong, I gave 4 interviews in a phase one, I would say. They were like, first of all was ASEC. Its full form is Advanced Structural Engineering Consultants. They are a US-based company, and basically my interview for this company was around 1:30 a.m. in the night
Okay.
because the interviewers were from USA.
Okay.
So yeah, these companies were into designing of high voltage transmission lines across the cities and across the states. So
Mhm.
they were into developing of structural things. Second most company was the Hind Rectifiers. It was based on Mumbai only, Thane, I guess,
Mhm.
and they were basically into building of designing of rectifiers for the big industries.
Okay.
Third,
Uh,
yeah.
yep. That before company, we those who were working on uh, high voltage transmissions, as you said,
Yeah,
ASMT. What is it?
yeah. ASEC.
ASEC. So, what were their uh, test and all? What were their criteria?
So there are basically in the ASEC they gave us an assignment. So they gave us a picture of a transmission pole, and they asked us how would you design a transmission pole. So give us the criteria. So, so
Mhm.
to build to design a transmitting pole, you need basics of mechanics also, that it would go under Euler beam stress, or it would go under
Okay.
a bending moment. So you need to design constraints. What should be these all things? So design considerations were there. So such assignments were given to us. Based on that, they selected us for interviews.
Okay. Only that assignment were there. No other
Yeah,
tests such.
no.
Okay. Nice. Then for Hind rectifier.
In Rectify also there was a test. Based on the
Okay.
test, they called us for the interview.
Test was on mechanical concepts or it was
Yeah,
something
it was
else?
basically on a mechanical concepts. Yeah, and also there were some uh, basics of 12th, I would say, where there is a mixture of electric part also. So
Okay.
yeah, they were
Mhm.
asked some PN junction about that also. So
Mhm.
so it was like
Okay.
12th based questions. It was not a core mechanical or
Okay.
core electrical questions.
Okay. Nice. Then next interview.
The next interview was of L&T. I would say L&T was another company. It had also taken a test before interview, and after in the interview, it went all on a technical aspects, because there were 2 persons in the panel, and
Mhm.
basically when they went through my resume, they saw a highlighting feature like I worked in a SR's combined cycle power plant. So they were like, this
Mhm.
fellow is from our domain. Let's ask on power plant. So they just rigorously ask me questions on power plants and all that thing. Then on they move on to some other basics questions of mechanics, and that's all. but still they didn't find me quite attractive for the job. So later
Yeah.
on, after the L&T, I gave interview of applied materials. Applied
Okay.
materials also had a test before, and after that, it had an interview of three part. One was two were from technical, and third was HR. So
Mhm.
first interview went very well. The panelist was very impressed from me because they were looking someone who are into a product development, and my resume contained a section where there were two projects of a product
Mhm.
development. So he was quite very impressed with the work I have done on the project. So he was quite enthusiastic, and he was like, let's meet in the second interview. So in the second interview, there were three persons, a panel of a three-person, and they were like very curious to know about the projects. So they were catching me in all the aspects that why did you do this, why did you do that. So basically, the projects were quite old enough, so I do not remember such specification, but still they were going into the deep specification. Why did you choose this and that? So
Okay.
I lacked some basic knowledge about that thing. Why did I do that?
Mhm.
So I guess they were not impressed by then. So I
Okay.
was removed from the second round, eliminated from the second round.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Then your interview was for
Then
Arms.
yeah, before that, I had a chance for a Siemens, but Siemens didn't turn up early. So Siemens process was very rigorous, and it took like around 3 or 4 weeks. So before that, yeah, Armstrong came and just took us. So Siemens just missed us, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keyur, before getting into your Armstrong interview in depth,
Uh-huh.
I would like to ask you this a bit personal question, like that ASCE EC,
Uh,
that first interview, that was on which day?
I guess it was on fifth day.
Day 5. So till day 5, you didn't have any interviews,
No.
right? And your friends, your best friends were having at least one or two interviews, and many, like one or two of your friends had many interviews as such.
Yeah.
So this, like when we compare with others, it feels demotivated. But whenever I meet you, you were a very joyful person. Even you didn't have your interview, you were always joyful. You had a smile on your face. You were positive. That vibe's already always there from you personally. And finally, you got placed in phase two. That too in February itself. So, how did you manage yourself? How did you keep yourself motivated throughout this?
So basically, it was like I would say, कर्म करो फल की चिंता मत करो. So I was like, your skill should be polished enough. So whether it is some AMSA, EEC, or it's applied materials, so I was getting polished day by day. So as the interviews were passing on, I was getting polished day by day. And talking about not having an interview till day 5, I was very cool about it. It's okay to not have any interview till that, because some of the brightest kids might get placed by then, and your chances would be excel by then. So I was in the hope in that also. So let some of the brightest mind get placed by till day 5, and after day 5, my days will be on. So after day 5, I had 4 interviews consecutively. So it was like,
Mhm.
yeah, it was a good trade that let them get placed earlier. So this I said, just I said, all the 4 interviews were day by day. So at the end, it was like, okay, after till day 10, there is no any hope. Still, they are not selecting me as an employee.
Mhm.
So I just like, okay, loud. Let's just focus on my MTP.
Mhm.
Let's work on that, polish it. So there might be a company which will come on the automation or robotics, something like that, and I would give my best on that, and I will showcase my show off my project itself, so that they get quite impressed by that. I just began to work in my MTP for such
Okay.
reason. So even though uh, full January went with no interviews, and February came, And there was also one more company with the same profile like warehouse automation. It
Mm,
was named as Adverb company, Adverb
mm.
automations, and it also didn't show up for the M.Tech guys. They took B.Tech guys, and I was like, "Did you even see my resume?" So later, Armstrong was here, and I impressed them with my project. Yeah, it went good. Yeah.
Right. Like what I can understand is you didn't get trapped in that what we say uh, getting placed in day 214 is sort of elite. There is nothing like that, but basically there is this mentality among students who sit for placement that we have to get placed in day 1 to 4, otherwise we may not get placed. And
No, no.
in that trap you didn't fail, that's why it always kept you positive and that's why you got selected. Without this much of positive attitude it is very difficult to get placed in phase 2, because if you don't have positive attitude you may not perform well in your interviews.
Yeah.
That's a very, like, that's a thing one should learn from you actually. And now coming to the Armstrong, like how its interview went. You cleared the test, you they shortlisted your resume.
Yeah.
Now, how many rounds of interviews and how it went?
So basically, there was only a one round from their official direct. It was from directly from director of their company. So
Mm,
they were basically went on from my projects.
mm,
So basically they went already on my resume only. So they started from my projects. They asked me about every project. That what did you do this? What did you learn from this? So how this is better. Then asked me about my MTP project. So I explained my MTP project also. So basically, you should be clear about what are you doing in your MTP. You shouldn't be like some vague knowledge that yes, we will do that, we might do that. No, they should be clear that this is my goal, and I'm here, and I'm 50% or 60% I am completed this thing, and I will be reaching this by end of by May or June. So you should be clear about your timeline also. So how well you are knowledge about your MTP, because the main thing they get attracted to is your MTP because it's a huge project, not a course project just of 10 to 15 days. So after that they had in my HR interview the same time. So HR also went very well, HR interview. So they were quite impressed with my positive attitude with their teams of
mm,
the automations. So they were like asked me that will you be able to sustain in the our company because we are in the huge uh, uh, deadline thing and pressurized deadline is coming here. So I gave a positively answer that yes, I could definitely be part of something like which able to take any responsibilities that you will pass on. So they were impressed with me with all this attitude. So one should also prepare a good HR questions so you do not fumble during that end point. So one must try to prepare it by writing down the whole answer and reciting it in front of your friends that have I wrote a good answer or not, or is it
mm.
convincing answer or not. So yeah, practice that as well, and communication is the key. So how you project yourself, how you talk to them, and how you crack a silly jokes is also will make them a very positive person in front of them. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So, in a single interview itself, you had technical round as well as HR. In technical, they only asked about your MTP, nothing else, nothing about
Yes.
you, some course concepts.
Yeah, just about my resume projects and
Uh,
MTP. Yeah.
MTP. Okay. Then in HR, was there any question? Like you mentioned that they were emphasizing on will you be able to take pressurized situations? So,
Yeah.
were there any questions in HR round which you didn't prepare for or you fumbled in?
No, I guess I had tried my all best to go through all the questions because some questions are like there is the same answer but the frame is different.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, preparing all such type of questions will help you to answer any of their questions. So do not worry about that. That it's a new question. There's the same question, but it's frame. It is differently framed.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Now, Keyur, specific to Armstrong. Yeah,
Mhm.
before that, Uh, did you observe that uh, Armstrong was looking for only design people or something like that? Because both of you and uh,
Aniket.
Aniket, both are from design. So do you feel they were looking for design, or even if some manufacturing or thermal guy would have done the projects you have done, they would have taken?
Definitely anyone who had been done the projects on this automation thing might
Hmm.
be selected for the interviews and also get placed in the same company, because other than us there was another guy from Syscon system and control department whose
Hmm.
work is on controls, and he also got selected for the same profile.
Okay.
So definitely anyone other than of a design person who are interested in robotics and automations and IoTs can also get chances in this company.
Right. Uh, One more, like for interviews, after resume shortlisting, were there students from other specialization from mechanical for the interview?
Yeah, they were from energy science, I would say. Uh,
From mechanical, I am saying, like from thermal and manufacturing, were there people?
no. They were any. Yeah.
Okay, okay, sure. Then, Keyur, specific to Armstrong, if a particular student right now, after watching your interview, decides to go for Armstrong, like if he keeps a target of Armstrong, what would you suggest? How should he choose his MTP courses and prepare for the test? Can you brief about this journey?
So courses, I would say, so one must be very enthusiastic in learning about robotics. Yeah. So basically, the automation is all about developing the non-core size. Wouldn't say non-core size, but is another a child branch for mechanical. The mechanical is a
Hmm.
huge thing, and it has many branches. So
Hmm.
it's just a branch of mechanical which relates with the controls and mechanisms. Controls and mechanism when combine each other, it becomes a robotics, I would say. So
Right.
turning for the companies like industrial automation, I would say, or interlogistic automation, so warehouse automation, one must do courses like of control systems. It would be floated by either controls and systems department, or I did from the aerospace departments. So
Yeah.
one must also approach the aerospace department for control and systems. Other than that, robotics course is already floated by our faculty from the our department, Professor
Abhishek, sir.
Abhishek Gupta. Yeah, and for mechatronics part, one must also do a project from a course from Prasanna Gandhi's
Yeah. Design of
teaching.
mechatronic system.
Design of mechatronics. Yeah, you know it well. So it's also a fine course on mechatronics. So such courses might help him to boost the knowledge about the things in a sensors or any other components of automation. And other than that, selecting project, it would be like first do a industrial survey that what industries need right now, and that would be done by the seeing the interviews, or I would say seeing the companies which approached the previous year. So what all
Hmm.
types of companies are have been there in the last year, not very far, just the last year. See the scenarios of the last year and look about that what they were in need. So if they need an ML AI person, they need an automation guy, they need a robotics person, they need a core person who is in good in FEM
Hmm.
and C STEM soul. So just go through the all the aspects, how many statistics, that how many companies came and what all their needs were. So basically, if you target it such that okay, there's a company named Armstrong, Adobe, they are in for warehouse automation. So what does the warehouse automation need? So they need AGVs, automatic guided vehicles, solutions for that. So that all might be a good insight for you to take what project you need to do under projects of any professor.
Yeah.
So yeah, so these all things should be taken care of.
Yeah. Very well said, Keyur. Like before choosing your MTP, just look at the companies what they need instead of randomly choosing a project, a
Yeah,
research product. It would
yeah,
be better if you see what market needs, what companies needs as of now, and which companies you should look after? You should look after companies which visited last year or a year before,
Yeah.
right? So finally, Keyur, one last question.
Mhm.
Like, do you have any suggestions for your juniors, which we call as GAN? Like, do you have any GAN for your juniors, which you feel if you would have known this particular thing, it would have helped you during your placement preparation? Is there something like that?
I would say that one must be really very motivated from the first day itself. It's not like that we will prepare from September or October. Even though I was studying, started before August, something like that, but still there was a lot of pressure of uh, resume making, and after that MTP selections. So one must be like aware that there will be a scenario, there will be a time where everyone need to give their resumes also for verification. So then to fill that form also. So start preparing from well before, and and I would say when to prepare whenever your project is over in any of your semester. Try to note down all the things you have done in the project. So take a
Mhm.
note of that and just keep it yourself. So when this resume build making session comes, so you will just need to go through that thing, and you will remember all the things what you have done in the project. So it would be a head start for you. Do not need to go the whole project that what I did, what all the things were done by me. So this might help you to build a resume, and this will save you a lot of time. And else I would say that there is nothing like a mechanical guy shouldn't know about a coding language. The coding language is a necessary for every engineer who is in this institute. So it's like not even in this institute, any institute. So it's like a engineer needs to know a language of a computer. So it could be any language. It could be Python. It could be C, C++. So one must be well aware of any of the language he is in the proficient, and also making a project computational will also help him to gain a more attractive resume to the companies also, that he is a guy with the computational knowledge also. So yeah, definitely make your profile such that you know things and stand out from the others also. And
Right.
preparing for the resumes, one must be well aware from each and every detail of your resume. One must not like boast in the resume that I have done that and this and that, and at the end they won't be able to convey the or deliver the message that they want to try to deliver. So please go through your resume, and one should prepare heavily notes on the same thing, that in this project I would say this, and recite it once or twice, that you will say only this only. Yeah, like that. So you need to prepare a script for that. This might help you and feel confident while speaking to the interviewer, and he
Mhm.
might be also impressed with your confidence because you are well prepared.
Right.
Yeah.
Keyur, I know that you always have been an outspoken person. You always are an extrovert. You readily mingle with everyone, but you also had many PRs.
Yeah.
So how do you see this? How important is this PR to like get the confidence which you mentioned to interact with others?
So PUR stands like you are available to take a responsibility,
Hmm.
and industries need a person who takes ready to take a responsible. So it's like if you are once after you become a senior in a company, they are looking that are you able to be a responsible person to handling a project or something like that. So that all things can be gained by having a PUR in yourself, in your resume. That yes, I am a sports techie, and I have been formulated, or I have maintained the legacy of making a mechanical team, boys team, as a topper in the boys tele in the every year. So I have also taken the legacy in this year also. So I had put my efforts to maintain the same thing. So this all brings their responsibility, how responsible you are towards your works, work and how good are your ethics. So basically, I had also worked on my PG Sport secretary as a, and also I was a area of a drawing lab where I also handled a huge amount of public, huge amount of first year kids. They are not aware of the systems, they are not aware of the system of the institute. So to make them go through, make them knowledge about the softwares, AutoCAD, SolidWorks, and introductory sessions were conducted by me, handling a huge crowd and huge TAs and proper functioning of a ED lab. It was a huge task, and it went systematically because of some of the help of our seniors also, because they had some basic knowledge that how should be done and how should they might react to such situations. So knowledge should be passed on, and also and one should take a knowledge from seniors also with the same thing that yes, it shouldn't be like that. Okay, I will do it myself. I know everything. No, there is always bit of something left while learning some other things. So yeah, keywords are good for you to make you take a decisions on the spot. Yeah, on the spot you can make any decisions. How well are you in the making decisions? I would say with your
Right. Uh, so even if you don't get any direct questions in your interview, there might not be a direct criteria that you must have a POR for any role you are applying for. But in the background, an HR will always have in mind that this guy takes initiative. This guy has this leadership qualities, or that
yeah
can be reflected if you take this.
yeah
Uh, Keir, as I see, as you already mentioned that you prepared for only core and control systems, all this. Like I would say you were more inclined towards core. So how was your preparation for core test? You have clear Armstrong, which asked for design for manufacturing, but you might have also given test for Siemens as such, for example, where they asked some traditional way of questions,
yeah.
aptitude questions, then technical questions. How you prepared for this?
So basically, I went through my gate notes, which were like while running on through the gate notes, it was like running through a cards of the flashes that memory came along with it. So it was very helpful for me to retain my notes of my gates, and it was very easy to retain all that memories of my 2018 gate. So it was yeah, it helped me a lot. And just after revising the concepts, I went through our questions, and it was very easy for me to attend all of such questions. So yeah, one must retain their notes of gates.
Okay,
I would say.
for right, you prepared from your gate notes. Then
Yeah.
for practicing MCQs or
Yeah, practicing MCQs were like, yeah, definitely the gate questions were the enough for me. But still, I went for India Bigs. Yeah, there was also many questions on the India Bigs and
India
science
Bits
founders, exam weather.
and font.
Yeah.
Right, right. Uh, you said gate questions. So MEDC previous year's questions,
Yeah,
those you did.
previous year questions, yeah, it doesn't mean that only Medici is there. Previous
Okay.
year questions will be easily available from any of the websites, or because it's a fact, right? The questions are already
Uh-huh.
being posted, so it might be available for everything. Yeah.
Right. So one last thing, Kev, like uh, you are from design, and mechanical is known that in mechanical it is known that design guys get placed very early, uh, faster than others, yeah, or earlier than other people. But it is seen this year that even for design people it was a bit difficult to get placed. Reasons might be anything, maybe COVID, maybe less number of uh, companies turned off, maybe uh, a low phase for automobile companies, whatever may be the reason. But even design people faced a bit difficulty in getting placed. So how do you see? Do you suggest even design students to, in general, yeah, any student to have more options open? Like you should also have some other profile, maybe data science, maybe finance, maybe anything. Do you suggest your juniors to have some focus in that area as well?
Definitely, I would say that yeah, one must also learn some interdisciplinary courses because that might help you to develop more interest in your subject. Because it's not like that if you do a core thing and you do not visit any other subjects, interdisciplinary subjects such as I would say data mining, then it would be like you are less knowledgeable. The knowledge you gain gain from such subjects will help you to make your MTPs and other projects more efficient or more I would say more good. More good in displaying to the others,
Yeah.
also working with the professor also. So developing the habit to learn more and more things of interdisciplinary and incorporating it in your projects might help you to give you innovative ideas in your
Hmm.
project. So definitely one must visit and one must also do courses on data mining and machine learning also, and explore the things what are they doing and how could we incorporate in our projects and in our MTPs. Yeah,
Okay. Like that will help you improve your knowledge, improve your
knowledge.
MTP. It will give you more broaden way of thinking towards
Yeah,
the same problem, and as well
yeah,
as you will be automatically get open for other profiles when it comes to placement as well.
definitely.
Okay, sure. Okay, Kev, thank you so much for your time. It was very helpful, and it will definitely help people who are aiming for core profiles as such. Thank you so
Sure.
much.
Thank you, Prem.